I'm going to keep talking, but I also went on another venue. And so when people are trying to find themselves, because they got to find themselves, it's difficult when you really don't know yourself truly, wholly, fully, and completely. And in order for somebody to know you and to get with you, you are you have to be intentional to show up. You got to be intentional to show yourself, because the intentionality means that you're willing to at least try. You're willing to at least try for people to see you. You're willing to try to let people understand really, fully, completely where you are. If you don't want people to see you, you are going to always blame it on somebody else. And you're never going to understand or never get into a relationship that's full and that's complete. Your community is always going to be on the outskirts of your community, because people want to see you. They do not want to see this facade. Now, for those of us who feel like, well, if they see me, they're not gonna like me. Well, you gotta like yourself first. You gotta like yourself first. So Jake's avatar had self-pity in his old body, but in his new body, he was strong, he was resilient, he had all of the faculties that he would have wanted in his old body. There are some things that the avatar was teaching Jake, but he had to be willing to learn it. And so we have to understand that while we are learning us and learning who we are, learning what our purpose is, learning why we go into places and spaces that we go into, because not every place that we're called to or that we go to are we called to. Come on. Some of us are going in places and spaces because our avatar looks a certain kind of way, and the avatar gives us access. But when we get in, our true self shows up, and we don't know how to stay. Your character will, your charisma will get you in the door, but your character, if it's messed up, ain't gonna keep you in the door. Let me say that again. Your charisma, your charismata, how you show up, your veiled confidence, that thing that comes, the thing that gets people drawn in, the things that you say something powerful and you have some energy and you have a little bit of this and you have it. And that's the thing that gets people drawn in. And they get in and they see you and your character and how you and everything that they be like, child, that wasn't nothing but a show. Honey, that wasn't nothing but a show. If you remove the veils and let your character and your charisma be one in the same and walk with humility, then the people will not have a problem with seeing you, and you will not have a problem seeing you, because that is the most important principle of the avatar. The most important principle of the avatar was so that he can get accustomed to this new life he was living in and with, and being able to function in it with full functionality. So when he got to where he was going, he didn't have to wonder about what it was going to look like, what his life was going to look like. Because the thing now is that you have to make yourself responsible for change. Jake had to become responsible to learn the way of the people of Pandora. He had to become responsible for learning how to talk and speak the language of the people of Pandora. He had to learn their practice and their way, how they ate, how they slept, the way they fought, the way they connected with nature, how they prayed. Because there was a scene in the movie where his friend, after he learned about what was happening, and then he began to get acclimated to his avatar, and the real Jake begins to come through his avatar, because it does come through. Your real self should be able to in-house and embody and embark and overtake your avatar. So your avatar, the person that you want people to see, it really does become the person that people see. And so as he is acclimating and the true Jake is connecting with the avatar, and now the avatar is becoming the true Jake, with full courage, with full functionality, with full ability to walk and talk and be, and all of those things, he begins to have an opportunity to sit and understand their way. There's a scene when they get and the scientists now, after all, they get into a whole lot of confusion, and they want to bomb up stuff, and the scientists and Jake and his friends, now they have found out what the true plot was, and now they have decided, or they have changed their minds about being a part of the initial betrayal. And because their minds are changing, because they're being seen for them true selves and for who they really are, now their minds are changing, their attitudes are changing, their functions is changing, and their functions are changing. And so now they join up with the people of Pandora now, and in one of the scenes, the scientist gets hurt. The scientist gets hurt, and they bring her to the tree of life where the ancestors are, where the healing happens. So they bring her human body and they bring her avatar both at the same time to the tree. When they get to the tree, they lay them down, and now the tree of life begins to connect with both the avatar and the human body. And the scene goes on to say that we will know what Iwa has to say, whether Iwa will take her on and bring her back, or whether Iwa will take her on and she does not want to come back. So they're praying, they're in a ritual, they have the avatar and her body. And when they get to a space and Iwa lights up, the scientist says, I see Iwa, I see what's happening. Everything they say is true. She now understands the power of prayer, the power of community, and she does not come back. She stays with Iwa and becomes now a part of the life tree. She now becomes a part of the life tree because she understands her assignment is now to begin to connect with the life source and begin to be a part of the life giving. Because sometimes we want to take life. We want to take life. We want to take life. We want to take it. We want to keep taking. And we never give anything. But the scientist now decides that she does not want to come back. She becomes a part of the life-giving source. And she stays with Iwa in the tree of life. Well, there's a scene now where Jake has to eventually come to the same tree with the same kind of decision making. His human body and the avatar are both having an intersection with each other. They have to become one in the same person. They are now in the process, after Jake in his human body has now changed his mind and his attitude has changed. He wants, when people see the avatar, he wants the avatar to be him. But they have not merged yet. So when disconnection comes, there always has to be some connecting to something else. When you disconnect from one thing, you have to connect to another thing. And I know people say, oh, I don't need nobody. Oh, I don't need this and I don't need that. You always need somebody. You need somebody, because when Jake came time to be seen, he had to come back. And what he did was, the initial betrayal was found out. He had to go back and apologize. And he had to wait out this process for the people to get over from being hurt. When they got over being hurt, then it was, we made a mistake. He is a part of us. Because what he did was, he came back and changed behavior. He tried to make right what was wrong. There was changed behavior. There was a new discipline. There was a new attitude in the old Jake. So when the avatar, the new Jake, came out, when they merged at the tree of life, they became one and the same person. And when they now have come in contact with each other, says, I see you. And the response was, I see you. When will you allow somebody to see you? When will you allow somebody access in? I'm going to leave that question right there. When will you allow somebody access in? Because we don't want, we got a problem with it. Oh, ain't nobody going to get close to me. Ain't nobody ever going to do that to me again. That bitter root judgment, every time you say, I ain't never gonna. Ain't nobody ever gonna. I'm never gonna. Ain't nobody ever gonna. Ain't nobody ever gonna get that close to me. Nobody's gonna get that close to me. I'm never gonna do that again. Every time you make a bitter root judgment, something comes up and you got to change that judgment. Sometimes you got to bite your tongue and you go back on the very thing that you say you would never do. I would never. There's some things I said I would never take. I would never do. You ain't never gonna do that to me. And the very thing that I said I'm never gonna do is the very thing that's happened. It's happened and it's happening. And so I have to go back and ask myself for forgiveness. Some of us need to forgive ourselves for putting bitter root judgments in place, for putting judgments in place against people and against ourselves. Some of us live with guilt because we've done some things. We can't change it. We can't change it. We did it. We said it. We acted out. Yes, we did. But are you really sorry? Are you really repentant? Because when it came time for Jake to go back to community, he had to repent. Then he waited. And then when the people were over from being mad and upset with him, they joined forces and they were able to defeat the enemy. There is an enemy that lies within and without. There is an enemy that lies within us that makes us believe that people are against us all the time. There is an enemy that lives within us that makes us believe that people want to get close because they want something from us, or they want to do us dirty and do us in. There is something in us that does not trust ourselves, and there is something in us that does not trust other people. Well, if you don't trust yourself, you doggone sure ain't gonna trust other people. There comes a time when you have to say, you have to give yourself an apology for holding your own self hostage by your pity, by your low self-esteem, by your low self-worth, by by the places and spaces where you were not affirmed, by those places and spaces where you were not validated. The enemy within will always tell you that something and somebody is coming against you, and you got to put up a guard. Well, can I tell you that if you keep that guard up, you will always, when I tell you, you will always come to your own demise. Because you're always going to think that it's somebody else, and it ain't nobody, it's you. The times and trauma in your life, you got to dig with that trauma. You got to dig in it. You got to sit with it. You got to uproot it. You got to cry about it. You got to roll about it. You got to pray about it. You got to snot about it. You got to you got to start writing letters. You got to start making phone calls. Come on. You got to start having Zoom virtual conversations, because here's what I know. Until you are healed within, you will never heal without. The outside will never be healed if your inside can't be healed. If you never deal with you and your stuff, Jake had to deal with his stuff, even in the avatar and without the avatar, with the one thing that he wanted people to see and with the one thing he didn't want people to see. So how terrible is that you want people to see you and you won't even deal with yourself? You won't even deal with the inner you. You won't deal with the enemy you see, the enemy you want people to see, and the enemy you don't want people to see. Because there's an inner you that you want people to see, but there's an inner you that you don't want nobody to have access to. You don't want nobody to know your fetishes. You don't want nobody to know who you are at night. You don't want nobody, because you don't even like who you are in those times when it's self-destructive behavior. You don't like yourself. But until you love yourself, we eating too much, shopping too much, sexing too much of anything is just too much. We lack discipline. Come on. We lack discipline because we here, we there, we over here, we don't stay long enough to learn nothing from nobody. Can't nobody teach you nothing, because the moment that somebody sees you, you run. Because you think somebody gonna call you out. Well, they should call you out. You got to deal with you. And only the people that's going to call you out are the people that love you. Now, don't get me wrong. There are some people that want to call you out because they don't like you. And they want people to know who you are. And they want to expose you. I'm not talking about those people. Because those people, they have their place. I'm talking about your avatar. In the sense that when they see you, they believe you. They trust you. They push you to your higher good. They push you to your best self. Your avatar wants to be seen and loved for the real that they are. But it's interesting in the movie because Jake had to come, and I told you Jake had to come to a place where until he was able to see with the eyes of the people he was called to, until he was able to connect really in spirit with nature, with the people of Pandora. He was not able to connect with the one thing or a few of the things that were supposed to protect him. Now there are some protection mechanisms that we put in place that are unhealthy. Let me say that. Jake had a horrible attitude, and his first thing was to fight or flight. We have it. I have it. I'm getting better with mine because my first initial was to fight and then flight. I'm fighting and then flighting, and I'm not going to flight until I fight. But I have learned in counseling, and with me being in counseling, and with me being and dealing with my own self and dealing with my own spirit and understanding why I do what I do, why I do, and how I do it, and the reasons that I was doing some of the things that I was doing. Because when you find the reasons, when you find out why, you'll stop doing the what. When you find out why you do what you do, you will stop doing what you do. And the how you do it will become irrelevant because you ain't doing it at all. So when you find out the why and deal with the why you are doing what you're doing, then the what will automatically come into place. And so Jake came to a space where now he is struggling to live, struggling to breathe, struggling to be, even in the avatar, even in the space that people get to see him, where he wants people. That now is suffocating. That avatar now is being challenged. Because your avatar is going to be challenged when your true identity wants to show up. When your true self wants to be seen, when your true self really wants to be known, to be present, to be relevant, your true self is going to expose your avatar. And so now the avatar now is in trouble. The avatar is in trouble. So when they get to the place where now he's trying to breathe and trying to do and this and that, and he's trying to fight and get all of that stuff done, he has to have somebody help him breathe. There is a scene in the movie where he is trying to connect back to the source where he can breathe, where he can get connected to the avatar, and his true self is now suffocating, which means the avatar can't live either. And when somebody, and when the princess who showed him the ways of Pandora people and showed him how, and they end up falling in love and getting ready to be there and all this other kind of things. She had to, because she saw him, the real him, she was able to find him some oxygen and give him oxygen to help him breathe. And because now his frail body and his avatar both are having trouble, they have to connect to the tree of life once again. Here now, the tree of life is coming now to bring life, to exchange life, either to take it or to exchange it, because there's always going to be an exchange. If when Iwa took the scientist, she became a part of the life-giving source. So as life has to be given back, she now comes back as an ancestor. Jake has to connect now his avatar and his human body to the life tree. And the decision has to be made. And because who he is now connecting to who he wants to be, the intersection happens and he comes back as his true Jake in the avatar's body. And they fight synergistically together. They interconnect, they sync, they work, they fit, they move, and the purpose for which he was really truly called to be a soldier in the first place, because he was called to be a soldier. Now the purpose now is being fulfilled. When you connect to your true self, your purpose will begin to be fulfilled. And you won't be out of place. You won't be out of sync. Your avatar and your true self will merge itself because that's who you want people to see. But your real self will come forth and your real self will sit in that body very comfortably and you will become fully, completely whole. Nothing missing, lacking, or broken. Nothing missing, nothing lacking, nothing broken. I see you all coming on. I see you all. Thank you all for being on. Nothing lacking, missing, or broken. The real self will show up and the enemy within is seen. The enemy within is dealt with. The enemy within is eradicated because you're doing some things. You're doing your work. And I'm not saying you're going to be perfect. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that you're not ever going to make a mistake. But you're going to be intentionally conscious of what you say, what you do, and who you are accountable to. Because remember, I told you, your true self is always being responsible about what you say, what you do, how you act, where you smile, but also being accountable to the people that you're in community with. And if you are in grace and peace, Prophet Francine Riley, I see you. Pastor Jerry, I see you. When you get to that place, you will understand that your true nature, I see you, Marvin Roberts, I see you all on, your true nature will show up. And your true nature will always check you. Don't do that. Don't say that. Don't go there. Everything that's lawful is not expedient. I'm not saying that you're not grown enough to do it. I'm not saying that you're not grown enough to go where you want to go. I'm not saying that you're not grown enough to say what you need to say. I'm not saying that you're not grown enough to be with who you want to be with. What I am saying is that you have to be conscious of your decisions. Because when you go out, it's going to kill your witness. Because some people are not mature enough to understand that you are a full human grown body person too, with needs and wants too. Everything, I can go anywhere I want to go. I can do anything that I want to do. But I am clear that my assignment is not just about me. I am clear that my assignment is not just about who I am. My assignment now is about the people that I'm called to. And not everybody is able to handle me being all of who I am, which is why I have a house. Which is why I have a safe space. Which is why I have a place where my avatar can go and I can disconnect and I can be fully, completely who I am without judgment. Without ridicule, without shame. The Holy Ghost will tell you, you cannot do that, you cannot say that, you cannot go there. Because some people are watching and some people are not mature enough to handle seeing the real you. I have a motto. When I go in a place, the way I go in a place is the way I go out of the place. And you're not going to see me everywhere doing everything with everybody. You're just not going to do it. I told you I'm full grown. And I've been full grown for a long time. I am. But there are some things and some places, and hear me this, and hear this. There are times when I couldn't see that I was supposed, that my assignment in certain places was up. There's certain places. Now, I'm not saying that I can't go there. What I am saying is when I go there are certain things that I can't do when I go where I'm going. Come on. There's certain things you can't do. Everything you're going to do in your house. And let your house be your safe space. And if you got people in your house and they don't make your house safe, then you need to check who's in your house. Lord Jesus. I'm not telling nobody to get a divorce. I'm not saying that. I ain't telling nobody to quit their... It's not what I said. I said check who's living in your house. If your house is not a safe space and you can be fully, completely yourself. When Jake connected with his avatar, the avatar came back. as Jake, who he really saw himself to be. And when you are really ready for somebody to see you, you will make the necessary changes inward and outwardly. From the inside to the out. From the inside out, God wants to heal. From the inside out, that people want to see you. From the inside out, not the outside in, because it's the outside in that's pretentious. The outward stuff is pretentious because we want to get it made up. We want to beat, honey. We want to beat for the gods. We want to put shoe on our foot, honey. We want to be snatched. We want our waist snatched, honey. We want to be done. We want to put the shoe on our foot, honey. We come out and we it. And we come home and we broke up. We ain't got nothing. Emotionally is what I'm talking about. We cry ourselves to sleep at night because we're not whole. We're not complete. And our avatar is getting more press than we are. And we are having a full conniption that our avatar is getting more press than we are. But if you want to be seen, show yourself. Show yourself. Show yourself. And I'm going to close with this. When they got ready, when the movie got ready to go off, there was a time of rebuilding. Jake was able to rebuild with the people of Pandora. There's a rebuilding process that God is doing in this season. Rebuilding you, relationships, your spirit, your prayer life, your discernment, how you sit with yourself, how you sit with other people, how where you're coming out, your purpose, your destiny. God is getting ready. God wants to give you fully and wholly and completely everything that you need. But there are some things that have to happen inwardly and outwardly. Show yourself. Show yourself. I want to see you. I want you to see me. I'm not saying we're going to be good cut buddies and we're going to go out and we're going to shoot, we're going to shoot, and I have a saying that I say that I can't say it on here. And, we shooting the breeze and we going here, we going on vacations. And I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is you will have real community where you give to community and you receive to community, where you don't always receive from community and you don't give anything back. Because when you're in community, you always have to give to it. And if you are always a taker in community, then you need to check yourself because you're about to wreck yourself. That means you're selfish, you're jealous, and you're insecure. If you can't celebrate and give to somebody in community and you don't know how to give to yourself, that means you got a lot of inner work to do. And I'm going to close with this. Preachers always got 2 and 3 closings. What's up with that? I said I was going to close with something. We have to understand that when we come out of COVID-19, because I'm staying in. I go out for grocery and I come back home. I'm not doing that. I love me. When we come out of COVID-19, we should be better and we should be increased. Better in the sense that our inner life is stronger because we're praying. We're releasing things. We're releasing people. We're releasing the things that hold us in hostage, hold us in bondage, that holds us and keeps us down, keeps us depressed. They have so many virtual counselors now that you need to find somebody while you're there. In being at home, while you're isolating, while you are sheltering in. And I don't want to say isolating, because isolation is a dangerous thing, and it can be a dangerous thing. But while we are sheltering in, we need to be going back to prayer, going back to the essentials, learning who we are all over again. I don't believe that this is by osmosis, or that it's happenstance or chance. I believe that that while it was designed to do one thing, God turned it around to a good thing. There will be glory after this. God is trying to get glory to you. But we have to get to a place where we are listening very clearly. That avatar either disconnect it or merge with it. Let yourself go. I see you, Dad. Blessings to you, Bishop Carswell Jackson, my father. Either go on and become a part of the life source, or stay behind and do what you're called to do. Get in touch with your true self. Be seen. Let somebody see you. In this season, when you come out, you should be seen. And you should be seeing somebody. Let your inner life match your outer life. And don't let your outer life be so pretentious that your inner life is struggling and trying to tell you, let your outside self sit down, have several seats. Because we got to do something different, because this ain't working. Nobody wants to be your friend. Nobody wants to call you. Nobody wants to be around you. Check it. Love on you. Fall in love with you. Be in love with you. Sit with you. Sit with you. Love you. Learn to be with you. And people won't have a problem being around you or with you. God bless you. I'm done. Sit with yourselves. Love yourselves. Share this with somebody. If this has been a blessing to you, I'm going to ask if you would. I put down in there, sow a seed. If it's blessed you, share this live with somebody. Please share this with somebody. Please share it with somebody. I'm gonna be on next week. Michelle, I want you to inbox me. Michelle, inbox me. Pastor Amadeo, I see you. Inbox me. Pastor Marvin Rob, yes, Michelle, inbox me. There is a word for you, but I can't release it in public. I'm not gonna release that out in the ether with the people on. I'm not going to do that. Ebony, I see you. Thank you all for being on. I love you all. Marie, I love you. Doc, I love you. Everybody that's on. I'm sorry about the connection. I don't know what this. Listen, I got to get some kind of power. What kind of internet I need to get some power in here? Something that's going to cut through these dead zones. I see you, Mike. I love you all. Thank you for being on. If this has been a blessing to you, sow a seed. No amount is a small amount. I appreciate everything that you all do. And so I don't do this for money. I will do it anyway. I did it for a long time without it. And somebody was like, put your Cash App up, because you're being a blessing to somebody. And as people are being a blessing to you, I am in turn being a blessing to somebody else. I want to say, I love you. Be well, be kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself. Please be kind to yourself. Love on yourself today. I see you, and I hope that you will see me. My Cash App is $ God's Mouthpiece 0721. That's $ God's Mouthpiece 0721. Regina Ross, I see you. Go back, share this. Bishop Greenlee, how are you? I love you, Bishop. Bishop Greenlee, I love you, sir. Please, please, please share with somebody. Share with somebody. Share with somebody. Share with somebody. My Cash App again is $ God's Mouthpiece 0721. And I love you all, and I hope that you share this with somebody. Let somebody see you, because I want to be seen. The Lord bless you. The Lord keep you. The Lord love you. This life is what I want God to see. Alexa, play Isaiah Templeton, This Life.
This Life by Isaiah Templeton on Amazon Music.
Turn it up. Alexa, turn it up, please. I love you. I love you more, Bishop. This life sometimes things go wrong. And Priscilla, I did not forget you. I didn't forget you on that song. This rain falls on me, I will trust him still to get this life. Sometimes things go wrong. In this life, every day can be the same song, same sad song. But one thing my God promised me, he said he would never leave. So as this rain falls on me, I will trust him still to get glory out of this life. Blessings, Edwin, blessings. I love you, Dee Dee. Thank you all for all those that are sowing. Thank you all. Thank you all. I appreciate it so much. Thank you all for sowing. Thank you all for supporting The Prophet Speaks. I'm here every Thursday at 2 p.m. Every Thursday, the Lord told me to come on and to share. And I will share according to what the Spirit gives me. And I am preaching on Sunday for my home church, Rivers of Living Water, New York and New Jersey, UCC. We'll be on live. We'll be on Zoom. And I believe that we're going to be on YouTube as well. I'm not sure. But tune in. There is a word from the Lord on Sunday. The Lord has given me a word for Sunday. Thank you all for sowing. Thank you all for being on with me. Thank you all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hey, Latoya. Thank you, honey. Thank you so much. Thank you all for being on. Thank you all for being on. Thank you all. Thank you all for supporting The Prophet Speaks. Thank you all. Thank you, thank you, thank you for supporting. Thank you. I love you. Get glory out of this life. 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock Sunday. 2 o'clock on Sunday. Get glory. Be well. Take care. Be kind to yourself.
Hope you liked it. To listen to this song again, just ask me to repeat.